Hi, it's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and I thought I would show you guys today how to make a Jojo cake. My friend's daughter absolutely loves Jojo Siwa, and I am amazed at the sheer volume of Jojo Siwa stuff that is coming out. So if you're a cake decorator, chances are you're going to get this request or have already had this request, or maybe you want to learn how to make this for your own child for their birthday. Then keep on watching. So today I'm actually starting out with American Buttercream, and again, I really don't use American Buttercream often, but I just realized that I did use it last week as well. Now the reason that I'm using American Buttercream, which contains no eggs whatsoever, is because Italian meringue buttercream or Swiss meringue buttercream just cannot do this job right here with the striping. Because of the way American buttercream crusts up in the fridge, it's a lot better to work with. When I tried it with Italian meringue buttercream, all the color just mixed together and we lost all of the stripes. Now you'll notice I have gaps in my frosting, and I'm going to fill that all in with this pink buttercream. You will need a piping bag for this portion. Don't try to put it on with a spatula or else everything is going to start mixing together. Another key to getting this right is making sure that you crust this up in the fridge for a long time. So you'll see that I crumb coated this, and then I did the striping, and then after I did that striping there, I put this in the fridge for an additional 30 minutes. Now I'm going in and I'm filling in the rest with this pink buttercream, and make sure that you don't put it in the fridge after this part. You want to make sure that you use your spatula to swipe it away right away. Now you'll notice that some of the pink is going onto the white. It's okay. Because I've sufficiently crusted over that buttercream, I can just swipe it off, and you will need to keep swiping a few times. This was the mistake that I made before where I didn't keep swiping. You also want to make sure that when you're applying it, you apply it fairly thick so that when you swipe it away, you don't get bald spots. Now you will notice I do have a few areas where some cake is showing, but I wasn't too picky about this because I'm going to do this next portion. Jojo is all about the colorful rainbows, so I'm going to incorporate rainbow stars all over the cake, plus rainbow buttercream on the top. So I'm piping all of the rainbow colors onto some plastic wrap, and I'm going to later roll this up and then put it into a piping bag. I always cut off a little bit of the excess to make sure that we don't get that part stuck in the piping tip. And I am using a classic 1M, which is a large metal piping tip. After spending additional time in the fridge, approximately 20 to 30 minutes, I am using this stencil to go ahead and put on the rainbow stars. If you're just starting out, make sure that your cake spends as much time in the fridge as possible before doing this step. I'm going to be piping a bunch of swirls on top, and here I only do the outer perimeter, but later on I decide to actually fill in the whole cake because I want to have a nice little bed for my Jojo bow. Then put on all of the sprinkles, and whenever I'm making a sprinkle mix, I really like to mix up what type of sprinkles that I'm using. The cake chilled out in the fridge some more, and then I decided to add on a few more stars all over the cake. This is honestly so easy and makes your buttercream look fantastic. A lot of Jojo's accessories feature little beads or colorful things, so I added a bunch of those to the cake. Now I'm going to get started on her iconic bow, and all of the bows that she has generally have 4 loops. She also does have ones that are just like the classic bow, but I feel like this makes the cake a little bit different and stands out from just being a regular rainbow cake. For those of you that are curious, I always use satin ice fondant that I dye myself. You can buy the pre-dyed type, but I find that I generally like to have it all in white and then dye it however I desire. Ordinarily, I keep the loops attached, but I think for this particular bow, I'm going to leave them detached. So I have 4 different looped pieces. If you wanted this bow to be more suspended, like on the side of the cake, you could do that as well. You would have to fully attach everything together though, and I would do that with some edible glue. So that's Tylose powder mixed with a little bit of water. I didn't want an edible print of her actual face. I just wanted to have a nod to Jojo Siwa, so I'm making her little silhouette here out of colored fondant. So I've just added a little bit of peach to this and a little bit of brown, and then I'm cutting out an oval-like shape. You could also do this as popping out of the cake, but you would have to let that piece of fondant dry. This way I can just place it directly on the cake without any other adhesive. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of texture to her hair so it looks like it's all up in a ponytail, and I did add a nice long ponytail as well and gave it some lift. When I have fondant details on buttercream cakes, I try not to steam them too much, but I do like to give that fondant portion a little bit of a steam if possible. I gave Jojo down at the bottom there a little classic bow as well, which I basically made using my loops, and then I covered it up just like I did with the top bow. At the very last minute, I decided to add on some of these pop-out fondant stars. All you have to do is make 2 stars for 1 stand-up star, and then you're going to use some floral wire, the type that is very, very strong. I believe it is 18 gauge wire, and you put it in between there and then just adhere it with a little bit of water, and it will stick in instantly. You don't have to wait for it to dry. Now let's get into the pricing of this cake. Now the fondant work itself on here actually wasn't that complicated. It was fairly simple. The buttercream work on here, however, was a little bit more challenging. It also required a lot of different colors, and anytime clients ask for a lot of different colors, the price automatically goes up a little bit higher. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading daily, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!